Pacers. All right, before we get to a couple of games going out west, if you want to get free plays sent right to your cell phone every day, if you want to get them from Dave Koken, it's real easy. Just text Koken to 313131, and Jim, they can get free plays from you every single day, just as easy.
That's right, John. Just text WINNER, WINNER, to 313131, and we'll send you free plays right to your cell phone each and every day. That's WINNER, WINNER, to 313131.
All right, our next series, you got Memphis playing Oklahoma City in Game 7. What we saw here is 4 consecutive overtime games, which was astonishing, and then a Thunder blowout in Game 6. Overall, it's been a defensive series. Seems like Memphis, Jim, in their big front court, big physical play, it's been kind of a tough matchup, and yet they couldn't close it out either when they had the chance. They're 8-3-1 against the spread. Memphis is at Oklahoma City, and they're also 14-6 ATS after a loss. Do you think they can pull another, maybe force overtime or pull an upset in Game 7?
Well, it's a great embarrassment and revenge spot for Memphis here. I mean, they have won at Oak City before. They beat them last year in the playoffs, or the last time they met in the playoffs, 4 out of 5 games. They've given this team trouble. Now, Durant went off last night and controlled the game. Injuries come into play. You have to check that because these teams have some injuries. But you get a situation like this where you get a really burned and pissed off Memphis team after what they did at home. You know they're going to come with a lot of energy and going to make adjustments. 8 points is a lot of points in a situation like this. You know, we go back and we look at history, and we go back 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, whatever the case may be. But this is probably the most unusual first round of NBA playoff games that I've ever seen, and I've been around 45 years doing this. And these road teams have done exceptionally well. And the home court values have just not held up. Last night there were some spots where teams could have closed it out, and they didn't do it. Here's another situation. Now we're really down to it. Somebody's going to go home in each one of these games. Memphis getting 8 points, Oklahoma laying 8 points. The schizophrenic style of these teams, they all seem to be schizophrenic. And we're going to talk about the most schizophrenic organization in the next game. But, you know, laying points like this, like Jeff said, you don't know what you're going to get. It's like Forrest Gump said, you never know. Life is like a box of chocolates. Well, this NBA first round is like that. You never know what you're going to get.
Forrest Gump is a local sportsbook director too. Jeff, here's a Kevin Durant. We know he's the key to Oklahoma City, but I wonder, is the key really Russell Westbrook? I mean, we know that when he's a ball hog, when he takes 25 or more shots per game, Oklahoma City has an 11-18 record. Now, they lost Game 5 with him shooting 10 of 31, despite a triple-double all around. And then he only took 21 shots in Game 6, and they won to force Game 7. How do you see him in this series?
Well, it's okay if he takes a lot of shots as long as he makes them. If he doesn't, they're in big trouble. The one thing about this, as Jim said, these series, this first round, as I said before the show, it seems as if it's taken a month to get this first round over with. There's been so many unusual things happening. We have the Donald Sterling debacle. It just seems like it's been forever. It's been less than 2 weeks. This first round series has been so unusual that to lay this many points in a Game 7, the only reason that it's this many points is because of the history of Game 7 in the NBA playoffs, as I said earlier. Otherwise, if this were a Game 4 or 5, I don't think the Thunder would be like an 8-point favorite at home after what we've seen. Kevin Durant broke out of a slump. They had a derogatory headline in the Oklahoma City paper. I don't know why it takes headlines to make these guys get out of slumps, but he had 36 points, 10 rebounds, 14 of 15 free throws. Memphis shot only 37%, so that was another big factor. They'll probably, hopefully for them, they'll shoot better in Game 7. Mike Conley was 2 for 10 for the field. He might have a hamstring injury. So and once again, we have a high point spread here in a Game 7, mostly because it is a home team in Game 7. Hard to lay points, and as Jim said, and the way these games are going, hard to lay this many points. But then again, it's hard to go against the Thunder here because of the situation. The Grizzlies, I don't know. It's just hard to take the Grizzlies in this Game 7 situation. I'll probably lean toward the Thunder, John.
Yeah, and the defense just didn't have, wasn't very good for Memphis that last game. They allowed 49% shooting after playing so well. Another thing, and Memphis offensively only shot 37%. One thing to keep in mind, Memphis, not a very good free throw shooting team, and that was really evident that in the blowout loss the last game, 19 of 28 from the line. If this is another close game, they've been able to get by with some shaky free throw shooting, but if it's another OT or close game, that could help out, help Oklahoma City in game one. A couple of spread trends to keep in mind for game 7. When the Grizzlies win a game, they're terrible against the spread the next game. We saw that the other night, 4-11-2 against the spread. However, when they lose a game, the tremendous bounce back team, 14-6 against the spread. When Memphis goes on the road, they lean on that great defense, 20-9 under the total on the road. And they've been very good in Oklahoma City, 8-3-1 against the spread.